Let's record. Hey, you guys. So I think first, before we get going, Christiana has a promotion to celebrate. I'll let you talk about this, Christiana.
Awesome. Well, yes, Robbie promoted to district last month. So everyone give her some congratulations. She's very
Woo!
hardworking and dedicated, and she put her mind to it, made it happen, and she's already talking about going area. So that's super exciting. So
Yes.
great job, Robbie.
That's
We're
so
all very
awesome,
proud of
Robbie.
you.
Yes, we had a great month, you guys. So many people. It was awesome. It was amazing. I know we've got a lot of new consultants that maybe might be hopping on. I'm not sure. I had a couple that said yes, but we'll see. But anyway, we'll get started. I'll pass it back to you. Andrea, did you have anything that before Lauren Rose gets started?
No, let's go ahead and dive into the training.
Can't
And we
wait.
can do
Awesome.
announcements afterwards.
Perfect. That sounds great. So we have the lovely ball of sunshine, Kayla Sykes, with us today. Kayla, you wave for the crowd. Hello, Kayla. Guys, she is just so much fun. Her Instagram bio says she is your hype BFF, and that is literally who she is. Fellow Bond Babe and newly promoted regional vice president. So excited to hear her journey, for her to share it with you guys. We met living in Clarksville, Tennessee, met at the Good Orange Theory originally, and her story is just amazing. She is a mama of twin boys, and her Insta stories are just so fun to watch and keep up with their crazy life. But I'm going to turn it over to Kayla. Congratulations on that promotion, Kayla. We can't wait to hear your story, and y'all be taking notes for sure, and be sure to have some questions for her at the end.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren. I am so excited to be here. I hope that y'all take something from this, whatever that may be, and I am an open book. So feel free to drop any questions in the chat. I will answer them to the best of my abilities. But yeah, so I love Arbonne. I have been with Arbonne since January of 2022. And I come from a background of network marketing. So I have been in network marketing since 2017. Very big believer in network marketing and the potential that it has. And so for me, it wasn't necessarily new to build a social media or a social media business, a business online. I know that it's kind of like different for a lot of people in Arbonne. I'm learning more and more that the social media route is just something like different and new, and and I believe in the power in in-person events. That's totally not me saying like anything bad about in-person events. It's just I have more of a background building in social media, and so hopefully I can kind of like share with y'all some things that you can take back and implement when it comes to social media. But what I want to say is this before I get into like the meat and potatoes is I have such a special appreciation for Arbonne because I have come from a company where it was very much like rank driven. It was a different style business model. And so for me, like, I just absolutely love everything that Arbonne offers. And I feel like that is such the difference in how I show up every single day. So if you have been in Arbonne for a while, please don't lose that spark. And if you kind of feel like you're in like a rut of any sort like that, just remember, just bring it back and just remember how incredible it is to be an Arbonne consultant, because it really is. I have been loud and proud about being an Arbonne consultant since day one. I'm a firm believer in this business model. I'm probably just preaching to the choir at this point, but I like I said, started back in January of 2022, and I just went all in. I didn't know anything about the compensation plan. I mean, I knew a little bit about it, like it's a volume-based business model and things of that nature. But I'd been a preferred client for a little bit, tried the products and love it. So that's one of my biggest tips, even for my own consultants, is if someone expresses the interest in the business, I'm like, let's get let's get your hands on some products. Let's try the products, become a preferred client, and really, get into what it means to be like, immersed in Arbonne when it comes to like the products and such. And so I think that is so powerful because they get to, try the products. They get to have like a firsthand experience about the preferred client membership itself. And then if they feel like, okay, I think I want to do this, like I want to, become a consultant, great. they have a testimony already. They've fallen in love with the products. They are more likely to show up, whether that's in person or online, just with such conviction about what it is that we have to offer as an Arbonne consultant. So I know for me, like if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, like I'm super interested, I'm like, okay, have you ever tried any of the products? That's my first question. Because if they haven't, you can't be successful in any business if you're not obsessed with what it is that you have to offer. Right. So that to me is something that's very, very important. And I mentor my consultants to do the same thing. And it's very freeing because it's like there's not that push to, okay, let's work the business, let's get into the business, because it's like, okay, well, hang on a second. If you've never tried the products, you're not gonna show up right away. You're not gonna show up with just such heart and excitement and belief in what you have to offer. You know what I mean? So I would say that's like the first thing. I literally hear my child in the room next to me. So if you can hear my child, I'm so sorry. But anyways, so I just really dove right in as a newly preferred client turned consultant, and I have built my business primarily on social media. I believe in the power of in-person events, and that's not to say that I haven't done an in-person event or haven't talked to people in person, because I am so excited when I do talk to people in person about Arbonne. But I have been a work from home mama for 3.5 years now. So I am, getting back into, the gym. I'm getting back into different places and really networking and, making those connections outside of social media. So I can, do vendor events and things of that nature. But y'all, social media is so special. I know where I come from as far as like my team here in Arbonne, it's like social media is a tool, right? And I agree wholeheartedly with that. But let's use that tool wisely. Let's really open up the doors to really connect with so many people that we wouldn't connect with, outside of in-person events. I've got people that I'm helping over in the UK, people in Canada, just all these different places that I wouldn't be able to help if I weren't on social media and actually using it as a tool to really fuel my business. And so I have, built a business based off relationship building. And while it is more of a virtual thing, y'all, there's so much power in it. And one of the things that I will say, like about my stories on social media, on Instagram, is I like to poll people. So I'm a big call to action girl. I will poll people left and right about the most random things. I polled people about string cheese last week, y'all. Like it's like whatever you want to talk about, just do it. Just whatever you feel that you're passionate about outside of Arbonne. That's the thing, is more people will vote on polls, click around on polls when it has nothing to do with Arbonne. And that's not to say that they aren't interested. It's just like people are so opinionated. So if you throw up a poll about, which mirror should I put in my living room, they've got their opinion, y'all. They're gonna vote. And guess what? When they vote, I am replying and reaching out to every single person that is voting on my polls. There's some days where I've got hundreds of messages that I'm sending out because of the poll. And that's like such an easy way for me to connect with people. Because what I found is when I am on social media, I can like mindlessly scroll, right? And so unless I've got some mind health in me, of course, but I'll mindlessly scroll and things of that nature. And so if I'm going through and watching people's stories, I'll get kind of like caught up in going down the rabbit hole, and forgetting like what it is I need to be doing. So that's why I say like polls are really great, or a great, like easier way to engage with people, because they're clicking on your polls anyways and voting and doing whatever. But it also helps, you and your stories and the algorithm behind Instagram, because when the more people are clicking on your polls, the more that Instagram is seeing, oh, they must be besties. They're interacting with each other. So they're going to show your stuff that much more. Okay. Yes, honey. Okay. Okay. In the living room. Anyways, sorry. Anyways, I feel like I'm like all over the place. So hopefully this is like helping and making sense. But anyways, so I am on my stories every single day. And I just feel like, if I'm making my fizz, it's nothing different just to prop up my phone and start talking to my audience about what it is I'm using and how it's helping me. And that's another thing too. I always express to my consultants, don't just throw up facts. Facts tell and benefits sell. People want to know what's in it for them. And so if I'm on my stories, I'm like, y'all, if you find yourself crashing at the end of the day or falling asleep at your computer at 2:30 in the afternoon, like I once did when I worked in corporate, this is for you. I am energized. I'm still, riding off of my, my fizz and mind health from the 9 o'clock in the morning at 2:30 in the afternoon, and really just like being relatable and explaining it in a sense that they will get, right? So talking about it in that sense. And I just lost my train of thought, but hopefully that that made sense with that. But yeah, so social media, that's my cup of tea. That's just what I've known. But I know for me, when I am in person with people and just casually talking to people at the gym, I joined a gym with the intention of like building my network, right? And getting to know people and getting out there and meeting new people. And so when I do that, and when we're, out in the public and, meeting people and such, whether it's a mom group or you're going to bunko with some friends, or again, joining a gym of something like that, you're getting, those in-person connections. And so what's happened is those people are starting to follow me on social media. And so they're seeing me with my cup of fizz, or they're seeing me walk into the gym with my cute Arbonne cup with something purple inside it. Thank you, Blackberry Fizz. But they're seeing me, with that and wondering like, okay, what is this that you're drinking? Or what is that you're talking about all the time? Like your hype juice, you're, dancing on, the floating floor as we're like doing our workout. Like, what is it? I need what you're drinking. Right. And so to me, it's like they go hand in hand. So they know me in person, but they're also following me on social media and getting more of like a, behind the scenes look at what it is I'm drinking and doing before I come to the gym. You know what I'm saying? So I truly believe like they both go in hand in hand. And then you're building those connections, and then, they're, wanting more information or wanting to become a preferred client or whatever that looks like. So I'm trying to think, are there any questions before I like keep rambling? I always feel like I ramble. So hopefully we're good. We're good. Yes.
Yeah, I love that, Kayla. You're doing great.
Awesome.
I mean, keep rambling because it's
Okay.
making sense. It's definitely
Okay.
making sense.
Good.
And I do have one quick question. So and I always think this too about social media, that, you're posting, but that's not, you've got, like you said, you've got to make that connection with people. So then maybe you could speak to how you kind of make that switch,
Yes. Yes. So I spend a lot of time in my DMs, a lot of time connecting with people. And when I say connecting, I mean like actually having conversations. And one of the most common questions I get, especially from newer consultants, is they're like, okay, well, how does it turn into Arbonne? And I'm like, it doesn't always turn into Arbonne right off the bat. You have to look at it as you're building friendships. You're becoming someone's friend at this point. You're planting those seeds, right? For harvest season, for when it's time to like really get things up and going. And so what I've found is by me putting those polls up in my stories, replying to people's stories that follow along or that I follow them, like really showing people love and genuinely commenting on their stuff and genuinely replying to their stories. And what I mean by that is a genuine connection, a genuine reply is 4 more words. It's an actual sentence. It's not just dropping an emoji. It's not just, laughing at someone's story. It's actually saying, oh my gosh, girl, I can totally relate. Like we're in this together kind of thing. Like if it's a fellow mom or someone posts like a cute dress they're wearing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your dress. Where did you get it kind of thing? Like I'm a big open-ended question kind of gal, where I'm putting the ball in their court to force an answer back, to get them to throw the ball back to me, to keep that conversation going. And so what happens is the more that I am talking to people and just having everyday conversation that I wouldn't have in person because maybe they live in Michigan and I live in Tennessee, like the more that I'm doing that, they're watching my stories more and more because you're building that relationship. So when you're building the relationship, it's building trust. And when you have that trust, y'all, that's gold. They're gonna believe in what it is that you're talking about when you're talking about your fizz, when you're talking about your Green Gut Glow or your skincare or the makeup, whatever it is that you're talking about. They're going to believe in you because they've got that trust within you. You've become their bestie, and this applies even in person, right? When you're having conversations. So to me, it's like take yourself out of the equation and focus on serving that person. And when I say serving people, I mean make them laugh or make them, feel loved, make them feel seen or heard or, whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be about a sale, right? I go into these conversations not looking for a sale. I'm like, how can I be this person's friend today? Right? Because we don't know what the other people are, what the other person's going through or what the other person needs, you know? And so that to me is truly like how I've built my business has been relationships. That's it. Just building relationships because it builds that trust. And also being myself. Y'all, Laura can tell you, I have the same 3 dance moves and stank face, and that's me. When you see my stories, you see me dancing in my kitchen, like I just and I know that's not everyone's, cup of tea, but what I'm saying is I show up as me. And so what's happened is the team I've got, so this kind of applies to like your future team, your consultants, the team I've got, they're my people. They're people I want to hang out with. They're people that I want to talk to. And they're people that respect my mentorship and that are willing to apply it to their businesses. Because I'm not trying to attract the masses. I'll say this, I used to try to speak to everybody in my previous business. I was a health and fitness coach. I wanted to try to get everyone on the team, get everyone like reeled in. But that I know is where I went wrong, was trying to just talk to everybody, like throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping it sticks. This is just, no, I'm going to be me. I'm not settling for anything less. I want my people. I want people that I want to, that want to work to some capacity, right? Not everyone's going to want it as much as I do, but you want to work with people on your team that you can see yourself hanging out with, right? You can see yourself going to Empower Live with, going on AIT trips and stuff with. So all that to say, be you. Show up as you. Your quirks. If you love making recipes or creating recipes and sharing them on social media or sharing them with people, like whatever it is, be you. That's the beauty of this business, is we get to be ourselves, right? And people feel that, and they feel the authenticity, and they want to work with you, whether it's you mentoring them in this business or whether it's you serving them as a preferred client or client, So I need to land the plane here. I circle the airport a lot, but to answer the question, sometimes I may convert it into an Arbonne conversation, but 9 times out of 10, it turns into them asking me about, well, tell me more about this fizz, or tell me more about your Green's Gut Glow drink, or whatever it is I talk about. Like I went through ever since Empower last year, it was my first Empower, and they launched, Derm Results. And I told myself, I was like, listen, I am going to use this skincare. I'm 35. I'm like, because I remember they quoted something at Empower Live talking about like millennials and statistics and how, we're more likely to spend more on skincare, or we're really like honed in on our skincare and such. And I was like, you know what? I see that as a business opportunity. I also see that as a way to like clear up my skin and feel good in my skin. So ever since then, I talk about my derm results often. And while I didn't see much success until September, when I had my first derm results purchase in September, y'all. And I've been talking about it since July 15th. But I kept saying, I've never felt as more confident in my bare skin as I do at 35. That's what everyone knows me by. When I'm talking about skincare, it's the same consistent message. Okay, it's how I'm marketing it. And so that month, I ended up selling so many derm results set, and they keep coming in. It's not like this thing where people are like, oh, I don't want to spend the money. They're like, no, I need what she's got because, hello, look at her skin. I want to feel confident in my bare skin too. So it's just, taking things like that and just, taking the tools that Arbonne gives us and just running with it. But again, like, you have to understand that it's going to take some time. It is. Like I said, my first derm result sell wasn't until like a month and a half later when I started using it. But you have to commit to doing whatever it is, whether it is, the nutrition side of things or makeup or skincare or whatever, and just, really sticking to that one message that you want to, get across there. But so yeah, oftentimes they'll reply to me, and y'all, I'm telling you, so the whole thing with RVP, it was being bold. Okay, guys, like it was being bold. And so when I talk about being bold, what I mean is like, for example, going into this conversation thing, if I see someone, I saw someone post on their stories, looking for pre-workout recommendations. Well, y'all, I know fizz is not a pre-workout, and I talk about how it's not a pre-workout, but I drink it Mind Health before my workout because it does the trick for me. Someone commented or posted a question box and I said, have you ever considered Fizz? I knew she watches my stories. We had somewhat of a relationship built at this point. And she said, honestly, she was like, I've been seeing your stories. I need something, like, tell me more. 10 minutes later, she became a new preferred client with Fizz in her cart, and she had bought the Green's Gut Glow bundle. Just for me, just being like, have you ever considered Fizz? Just be bold, be proud, be loud and proud about what it is you do and what you have to offer. Okay. And I feel like the switch really flipped for me. I was an area manager up until, well, obviously up until February 28th. But I am a part of Cecilia Stoll's downline, and she had a special retreat back in November. And I remember being in that room of women, and just, there was my second event that I'd been to, so a bit more intimate. And I just remember feeling like it's time for me to be bold. I know what I want, but it's more about, I want to be proof to other people that if I can do it, they can too. I took myself out of the equation. I was like, you know what? I'm going to come back to this retreat, which is technically a VP retreat. They just let area managers come along this past year. I'm coming back as a regional vice president, not settling for it. Had I ever pulled numbers in like that before? No. Fun fact, y'all. I'll be real with you. I was an area manager March 1st of last year until, well, I didn't start qual for regional vice president until, New Year's Eve. But in November, what was it? I still hadn't, as of November 1st, hit my area manager bonus, my AM award. I've been getting that DM award as an AM, and it frustrated the crap out of me because I was like, no. Like, what? Am I ever going to get there? Like, it was so frustrating for me, but I was like, okay, just keep plugging away, keep doing the things, your people will come. So I decided in November that I was going to take advantage of those Black Friday deals. Oh my gosh, first Black Friday with Arbonne, y'all. This isn't like that everywhere. Can I just say this? Like, I was floored at what Arbonne offers, because I was just like, it's more than just like 10% off of like a product that never sells. Like, from where I came from, this is so different. It's so different here. And I was like, well, yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's do this. And so I rallied with the ladies that I had on my team, and we ended up having our highest month yet. And I ended up getting my area manager bonus. Yay. But we ended about 10,000 shy of regional vice president qual. And I was like, you know what? We're doing this. I don't know how. I didn't have half the team that I do now back then. I was like, well, we're just going to do this. We're going to figure it out, but we're doing this. And I got on my stories, and on December 1st, boldly spoke it to the world, spoke my heart. There were tears shed. But I felt so called to be bold and to do this for so many more people. It had nothing to do with me. It was more about my family's legacy, what I could do for my family, but also what I could do for who would be a byproduct of it. I took myself out of the equation. I know I keep saying this over and over, but I can't express that enough. Take yourself out of the equation. Take your ego out of the equation, right? And so I was very public about it. I posted about it, and I had like a fun little tracker and stuff, and just kept sharing in my heart. And there were times where I was like, oh my gosh, what are we even going to get there? But I kept plugging away. I kept being, bold, and kept being loud and proud, and, everything like that. And then all of a sudden, it was like mid-December, I had, someone that signed with me as a new consultant, and she went district manager within 2 weeks and was a new area manager February 1st, a month and a half later after she started her business. And she wasn't the only person that came along, but I'm just saying, like, it took me just being like, okay, we're putting it out there. We're doing this, and sharing more about the consultant opportunity with everybody, and talking about it daily, and how, because again, where I came from, we had monthly fees. We had auto ship requirements. It's if you've never been a part of another company before, it's so easy to kind of get comfortable and be like, oh yeah, this is just what it is. It's not like this everywhere, friends. Share the perks, share why you love Arbonne. Just breathe life into people, and show people the joy that you have with this business. Just feel fired up, and just know you are so blessed being a part of this company. You really are. And so just talking about it, constantly. So New Year's Eve, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning here, and we locked that sucker in. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I shared it, I kept people in the loop, and people knew like where I was and what was going on. And it was just so, so special. But I got my team around the vision. I shared the vision with my team. And it was just people like coming together for a common cause, for a common thing, because they were seeing like the belief within me, and they were like, well, if she can do it, I can promote to district manager, or I can, talk more about the business, or I can do this, I can do that. And it has been, the ripple effect has been crazy. I always share, I'm like, be the ripple. Who are you holding back because you're choosing not to take the first step? Right? So no, nobody on my team was an RVP, but I was like, it's going to take me going first. It's going to take me showing them what's possible. It was scary, right? Putting myself out there. And I was like, I got into January, imposter syndrome. I was like, oh, how are we going to do this again? And thankfully, we did it. And then we went into month 3, and y'all, we finished month 3 quals on the last day of February, but in the shortest month of the year. And that was proof to me that I was like, okay, Kayla, like you can do this. You can do this, right? But what's been so exciting is seeing my girls, my consultants, even the new ones being like, because you were bold, I'm being bold and actually talking in my stories, or I'm having conversations with my coworkers, or I'm, doing this, I'm doing that. It's the ripple effect. And friends, we had our biggest month in March by like 20,000. Beyond, like it's just crazy how when you get your people, when you speak vision, speak belief into people, and love people where they're at and meet them where they're at. Not everyone wants to build this business to the stars, and that's okay. Love them where they're at. Serve them how they need to be served. But when you have everyone together and just rallying up, they're like, we're doing this. Every little bit helps. So I just encourage you to just be the ripple. Right? Whatever that looks like to you, just be the ripple.
You're fabulous, Kayla. My goodness, that was so good.
Thanks. I know. I'm like, oh, I get so like passionate because I'm like, be the rebel, just go after it. But, yeah. So
You
again,
can feel the passion through the screen, like just your heart for your team, your heart for your clients. Like it's very, very inspiring. And thank you so much for pouring into us tonight. It meant a lot. I'm like, I'm holding my little man and I'm sweating, but I'm also sweating of excitement. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. It was amazing. Thank you guys so much. Does anyone have any other questions for Kayla? I know we have just a couple minutes left. I want to respect your time.
That was awesome. I just want to say thank you so much, Kayla. Really amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I never know. Like, I want to make sure people like you'll take something away from it. I may not always be a tangible tip gal, but I'm
Lots
just
of notes.
okay. Good.
Yeah.
Y'all, I love it.
So good. I know people watching the recording later are going to love it too. I know we talked about book recommendations. Is there like that book that you're like, oh, y'all check this one out?
Yeah. So actually just this one I just finished. It's called Boss Up. I don't know if you guys have read that or not, but that one was a good one. Of course now I'm blanking. I should have written these things down. I love, gosh, what was it? Oh my gosh. Own Your Everyday, Jordan Dooley. She's got a good one. Own Your Everyday, Embrace Your Almost. It really just depends on like if you're needing mindset or if you're needing like leadership, tangible type things. I'm getting ready to read, oh my gosh, the most powerful woman in the room is you. Yeah, most powerful woman in the world, woman is you. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. But I'm getting ready to read that. It looks really good, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, I've done like, the Atomic Habits. I've done all like the typical books. The Power of Your Potential is really good by John C. Maxwell. It's actually a small, easy read. I actually used to not be big into reading until, network marketing and realizing, oh yeah, it's for everybody.
Yeah. It's important.
Just finished Boss Up. And yeah, they just, I did like all the, You're a Badass books. Badass Habits is a good book by Jim Sincero. I read that one twice, if that says anything. Oh, you're kind of a big deal. It's a pink book with like bright writing. That one's a good one. I read that one twice as well. So yeah.
Those are great recommendations. I love it. And where can everyone find you to watch your stories and like just hang out and get to know you more?
Be like, what about this crazy girl? So I am at _ Kayla Sykes _ follow along. Let's be besties. And again, my DMs are open, so feel free to ask me any questions. I feel like I've been like talking with a lot of people lately, and they're just like, "Tell me how to do this," or like, "Where did you find this?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm an open book. I'm here to help y'all out how I can."
I love that. We love that about the Bond community, right?
It's so different here, y'all.
It's
I
so,
love
so
it
sweet.
too. It's great. We've got something
Great.
special
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for taking
much.
time out of your night and your schedule to be here with us. It meant a lot. You're
Thank
awesome.
you. I appreciate y'all. I hope you guys have a good night.
Thank you,
Thanks. I think Andrea
Kayla.
had a couple announcements, so team is going to stay, but we'll see you later, Kayla.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Thanks,
Have a good
Kayla.
one.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Thank you. Hey, just a couple quick announcements, y'all. Just for GTC, go ahead. We're starting to get like head counts for all of that to figure out just who's going to be there and that sort of thing. So if you haven't registered, go ahead and do that. Book your flights. They are expensive, so just be prepared. But definitely worth it. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That was really it. Just oh, Christiana has an announcement too. We'll just go ahead and say it.
I saw that and I was like, I do. Oh yes, I do. Okay. So, yes, we are on fire as a team. So we're going to do kind of like a welcome / getting started call on Thursday at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Everyone's welcome. I mean, like it's specifically very important for people that, you know, are newer, but everyone's welcome. I think we're just gonna like quickly go over, I'm assuming we'll go over like numbers and, you know, what you can expect getting started with this. And then to piggyback off of Andrea as well, once we get head count, I'm assuming that we'll kind of figure out like rooms and that kind of stuff. So I think that was all I had.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
and
fun.
be sure to check out the website. I don't know, is anyone frequently using the website or going to the website? Just because like, you know, things are getting updated. It's been stripped down, so all you need, everything that you need is there. So, and then the boards that Polly's been working on, like just coincides with that and be much more simpler to use.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
Very good. Well,
all right.
good job, everybody, for March. And here we go for April.
April, yes.
It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Right.
Thank you, Lauren Rose, for getting the speaker. She was
Yeah, she was
awesome.
great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She's so fun. I'm glad you guys liked her too.
Awesome.
All right. Well, y'all have a great week and
Bye,
Happy
everyone.
April, everyone.
happy April. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.